Hey guys, my name is Nate and this is my brother Steven. Together we are Wingman Merch.
Thanks for checking out our video. We put these up about a month after we shoot them. If you'd like to catch any of these videos live, check out our Facebook page. The link is in the description.
We are, for the first time, on the Facebook page that we just set up. So I am pushing this over to the group so everyone can see that it's live.
Yeah, so now we're going to go live inside Wingman University. The name is starting to change. What we're starting to prep for next year, we're just trying to get an early jump. So the Facebook group is now, I guess, considered a paid group, kind of. You have to pay entry, one-time fee.
Yeah, so it's not a paid group. I think most people, when they say that, I guess they mean
monthly
payment. Yeah, a monthly payment. If you're in this group, we're not going to like start charging you monthly or anything like that for this group. We just want people who get in here, now that we've been teaching for a year, there's a bunch of really good comments and information in this group. We want that to be paid information. And really what that's doing is just making them, the paid content that they're getting when they're buying into this group is our Wingman Approach 2.0, which is an overview of basically everything we've learned last year and how we've systemized things. So it is just so they're caught up to, the latest up-to-date.
Yeah, we want everybody on the same page. That was a big thing last year. We were letting so many people in from presentations that we were doing in different places, and they didn't really know what we were about or what was going on. Now we're just trying to separate that out. So if we do presentations, at least we have places to send those people that are being introduced through friends or word of mouth. We want them to be going to the page, so at least they kind of know what's going on. And then in order to get into the group, like Nathaniel said, you're going to purchase the pre-flight, the Wingman Approach.
Wingman Approach
2.0, and that is, we haven't really set the price on that.
In future, we want it to be $50, but for right now, just because we want people to get it, especially if you're in this group, we want you guys to have access to that. We did a giveaway like 2 weeks ago where everyone who participated in that got it for free, and currently the price is $14.97 or $14.99 or $15 basically.
And it might be like that for a while.
Yeah, we want to make sure everybody gets it. We want to make sure moving forward, that's an accessible piece of content. We just feel like it's worth $50 because it was basically Pre-Flight 2.0 boiled down to just like the essentials and a real quick overview. I guess not really quick, it's still a 30-minute video. You know us, we like to talk and give you guys information.
Yeah, we were trying to make a 10-minute thing.
Yeah, like the first idea was like, okay, this needs to be 5 minutes, and then as we started going through it, I was like, all right, this will just be 30 minutes of content. But that's what we wanted to put out there. We're working on turning that into a PDF and using it a couple other ways. But we just want to make sure that information is out there, and for anybody who joins this group now, they know what's going on. They don't get in this group and be like, oh man, like where do I go for all this information? We know it's not organized very well. We know it's kind of all over the place. So I want to make sure that we give everyone a good baseline to start on. And then, 2019, more people on the same page. We're going to be doing more coaching and more everything. Yeah, taking this part of our business and putting, I don't know about more time into it, because we put a lot of time into it this year, but having it more organized.
Yeah. It was a lot of time spent just trying to learn and figure out. And now we feel like the last year has taught us how we can work together well and how we like to present, how people, I think what's really happening is in the last month and a half, especially after Pre-Flight 2.0 that we did, all the extremely positive feedbacks was like, okay, we need to be a lot more intentional about this. Make sure the content is coming out, that people can understand it and continue to follow along. I think that's why we like the action takers so much, and we teach in that very like get everybody on the same page and then show them exactly what to do from this next step. Nathaniel's art class that he just did, raving reviews from everybody. The presentation that we just did in somebody else's group, we got a ton of good feedback from that. Anything we're doing now, it just feels like we're getting a lot of positive feedback. I was going to say the presentation that we did, that was in, I can't even remember, that was a month ago, 2 months ago?
Yeah, we're doing a lot of stuff. We feel like the content that we're bringing is a very high value. That was what we were basically working on all of last year. We've never taught before. This wasn't even comfortable getting and sitting down in front of a camera. Maybe you can go back and watch some of those videos, and it's pretty embarrassing now. But that's where we started.
Homeless people.
It's not much better now.
I shaved up. What are you talking about? Trying to make it look good.
Yeah, but so that's what we're trying to do, is just teach more, talk to you guys more, interact more, have more classes, more ways to make this more of a part of our business, which, you know, part of that is getting paid, which is why this is now a paid group. If anyone wants to get in here, they have to pay. So if you're telling friends about this, we still get a lot of people like, hey, so-and-so told me about this. You can now tell them, you know, okay, you have to buy this $15 video, get it now while it's still $15, and that will catch you up to speed on what's going on. And then you get in this group, in this community, where you can ask, you know, whatever questions you need. And we try to be as interactive as possible. And we have some really, really smart people in here, you know, who have been giving out great information for basically the year that we've been going. So we love this community, want to keep it the way it is. We get a lot of messages like once a week. People are like, oh man, like this is the greatest Facebook group that I'm in. Thank you guys for just keeping it so solid. We don't have, you know, a bunch of people promoting random stuff. Anyone who asks a question in here, they usually get a pretty good solid answer. And that's what we like. So we want to keep it that way. We've done a lot of different things to, you know, let people into this group and to make sure that it's going to be, you know, people who value the information here, people who are actually taking action with the stuff that we're saying, and not just, you know, anybody was getting in. So we looked at it and we're at like a 35% rate for turning people away, which is probably a little bit too high. But now at least if people want to get in, you know, we can make sure that they're on that same baseline and we can move forward with that. So we're excited about it. Marcia was asking, how does what is being offered in the Facebook group going to differ from Wingman 2.0 live course?
Yeah, I guess it's a little confusing right now.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things changing. We're using the Facebook page, which I believe this is going live too.
Yep.
As just a lot of people that we are interacting with, we need a place to send them that's not necessarily in this group. Oh, cameras. Autofocusing. So that's what the Facebook page is about. Then the Wingman Facebook group, which is where we've put almost all of our content, that will still be here. We're going to be trying a lot of different things to keep content coming in there. It's not going to change as far as we can tell anytime soon. It's still going to be us in there, interactive. We're still going to be offering free courses. We're still going to be going live Wednesday. That stuff will not go on the Facebook page. The Facebook page is going to be post, other content, other things that we have going on. The Merch Mondays now will also be over there. And then the Pre-Flight 2.0, which I think that's what you're asking, which is the live course, that's us doing our training from step A to step Z with all of the training. So we have verbiage that we have a process and a system, and that's just teaching our system to anybody so that they understand and they can make a process for themselves and then have a successful print-on-demand business. And I guess that's kind of why we're calling this Wingman University right now. We're just going to be teaching a lot more than just merch. We've had a ton of opportunities throughout the year, and we have a lot of cool things going on, but it's all around the print-on-demand business. But we're not just merch focused. Merch is a tool. I think we've said that from the very beginning. It's an amazing tool. It's an awesome tool to teach you guys because it's very streamlined to be able to go, okay, here's an idea. Here's where the traffic is. This is how I go after this traffic. This is how I start building. You can't really build an audience, but you get to start understanding the customers and seeing what works and what doesn't work very rapidly. Everything else kind of takes a little bit of time. So if you're building a print-on-demand business, I still think merch is the greatest place to start. And then from there, with those ideas, start moving on and growing an actual business.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about a lot of other stuff, like Steven said, but basically you can think of 2.0, that's Pre-Flight 2.0, as a extended version of our Wingman approach. So if you've watched that video, if you got it for free, or if you bought it, that is like the short overview, and then the Pre-Flight 2.0 course is an actual 7 weeks of us going in depth on each one of those topics and making sure that all of your questions are answered. And our little tag for that is to take our process and turn it into your system. So we want to like help you guys personalize, you know, okay, what are the things that I need to be doing to get this thing moving along? There's a lot of great information out there, but we really care about the system. I think that's the biggest thing that we've learned this year that we are good at and that has helped grow our business is being able to systemize things, taking what variables you're, you know, what you're good at, what you need help with, how can we help, you know, support you and move this whole thing forward and turn it into a system where it is a process that you're just following, no longer you having to like really think and grasp for things and like seeing art as this really daunting, like magical thing that happens, like telling you, okay, this is exactly how you can get art done. This is how it can work for you.
and start building a business from there. Start hiring people to work for you, VAs, partnering up, however you feel your strengths are, but moving forward and actually turning this into a business where it's not a daily grind, because that's what we got tired of, and that's how we systemized it and kind of handed the business off.
Yeah, so Marsha asked another good question: is the Wingman University the paid or the free Facebook group? The Wingman University is going to be the free page, so Facebook page, where we're going to just put a lot of information, but the group is like the community. That's what we're really like trying to keep. That's why we have that 35% like denial rate to get in here. We really care about this community, everyone in here, everyone who's been giving us, you know, awesome support and feedback on the things that we're doing. We don't want to open that up to the world, but as we go to these conferences, as I travel and do other things, like it's hard to be like, hey, I have this group where we talk about a lot of great things, but you know, I want to make sure that you're going to fit inside of this community. So now we have this page where we can drag. I don't think there's anyone on the page yet. So if you're watching this live or, you know, a day or two after, know that you are safe. You don't have to pay for anything to stay in this community. We want you. We have been, you know, happy to have everybody in this community. We hit 1,000 people like a couple months ago. That was awesome. We just, once we hit that number, we're like, okay, like what does that mean? How do we keep this thing from going too fast, where we're like completely swamped by it? We are just very cautious on how we're moving forward, and we want to make sure that, you know, the dynamic of this community doesn't change. We have a couple more ideas that we wanted to talk about. I feel like there's already so much we've discussed. But if you want to talk about your idea that you had this week or last week or whenever it was.
Me and Jenny run a KDP group, and she had a really cool idea to be able to get people over the hump. Because I think writing books, a lot of people hit walls with going, oh, I'll never be able to write a book. I dropped out of high school. I don't write any books. We have a ton of books up on KDP. We call them no content books. But I think the idea is so large that it confuses people. So her idea was to say, okay, let's do 10 books in 10 days. That way people know that we're not writing books, and they'll be interested to see how are they actually doing this and getting it done. She has a really cool idea of how she gets that done, and we want to be able to capture that same essence. What really made me think about this is the questions that we've asked in this group have gotten me thinking about how can we serve you guys better. And we've been asking, Nathaniel's been asking a ton of art questions, and I've been like, I don't have any input on that. But we've been kind of switching gears and going, oh, how are you preparing for next year? So we asked a question, I don't know if you want to have it pulled up now. So have you been selling more than a year? Sorry. And the answers that people had in there was very interesting to me. And then we were asking if you guys are uploading daily, and then it was like everybody kind of had a different way about it. And for me, merch is a volume game. You have to keep the uploads going. You have to kind of see what's working, what's not working. It's not a private label product where you put a lot of time and energy effort into the front end, then buy something and then ship it off and then see if it works. Like with merch, you just fire off a lot of ideas quickly, and then what works, then you double down on is kind of what we call it. So from asking those questions and being able to go, okay, this is something that we should bring to our group. We see people struggling with daily uploads. We see people struggling with ideas. How can we make it to where it's like an attainable daily goal in a very short period of time? And the idea that I had was to say 50 shirts in 5 days. We're going to go over a few different strategies that we have. We're going to show you through a free program that Nathaniel showed in his art class how to do the art very rapidly and how to not make it eat up all of your day. We are doing hundreds of uploads a day. We have it systemized. Everybody's kind of doing their own part and being able to do the listing process, but we want to break it down for you guys to go, okay, I don't want to sit in front of my computer for 5 hours a day. How can I sit down for 20 minutes and make listings and get them up and move on with my day? And how can I make that process help me each day? So the idea that I have is the different strategies that we've been kind of talking about in different groups and different places for the last 3 months, pushing those all together and then pulling out from this year the very key ideas, like Nathaniel's bullet points, like to Mad Libs the bullet points to very rapidly make bullet points, and then how we do the landing zones to make the title, just speeding up the whole process. I think we've done a very good job in Preflight 2.0, but it's a very long, drawn-out course. So how can we tighten that up, make it very easy and accessible? Something that we have been talking about, I've kind of outlined the idea. We're going to sit down this week and try to hammer it out to actually get all the details down, and then next week figure out when we're going to offer it, and then offer it to you guys as like a lead-in to Pre-Flight 2.0. So if you come in, because that was the biggest negative about Pre-Flight 2.0. Everybody, as soon as they got in, wanted to start doing listings right away, and that's a very slow, methodical process. So now we're trying to give you like a real quick, fast way to get listings up. So as soon as you sign up, we want to be able to get you listings same day. That's I guess the bigger idea is do this quickly and do it daily.
Yeah, the thing that we have seen across the board help the most people in their business is actually taking action. So that's like been, this year definitely for me super eye-opening. Just like if people start taking action, if people start uploading shirts, you'll see success out of that. A shout out that I wanted to give at the end, I'll do it now, is Jen Barnia. She's been all over this group. She's constantly posting in here and liking comments and asking people questions. She's been super active in this group. And this week she posted, she just passed her 1,000th shirt sold. And you can ask her, she has a life, she has a full-time job, she's doing other things besides just sitting down on her computer all day like me and working on merch. And she's still having success with it, and I think it's just because she is an action taker. That's what Jen does. She's all over it. So it's awesome seeing people like that being able to take action, have their success stories. We want more things like that to happen. So we think doing it in 5 days is just like an intense boot camp of, let's just get these things done. Let's help you take action. Let's make sure that you don't have any excuses. We'll show you exactly what you need to be doing. We're going to help you with the niches and every part of the process to make sure you can actually get those 50 shirts live in 5 days.
Yeah, I guess I like that a lot better. The boot camp. It is a boot camp. As far as Wingman 2 or Pre-Flight is like a full specialist course. The 50 shirts in 5 days is a boot camp. It's just a real tight, quick thing. If we do have a Facebook group, it will only be open for a week or two, and then we'll kick everybody out. We'll make sure everybody gets the recordings and the information that's in there, but we don't want another Facebook group for you guys to be in. We just want to give you the information and then move on. Keep it moving, get the listings up, keep working at it, taking action.
If you were part of Jenny's or if you heard what Jenny was talking about, it should be no surprise that we steal their ideas a lot. So we were just like, oh man, that's awesome. A bunch of people taking action. How can we help that or bring that to our community as well? And so we sat down and thought about this idea. Again, the exact details are still being worked out, but we like to bring you guys our ideas as we're thinking about them. If you guys have any input on that, let us know. If you think, we could do it in less days or it should be slightly younger or whatever, let us know. We love your input. That's basically what's helped us get to this point of all the classes we've taught. The art class that we just taught 2 weeks ago, that was just because you guys kept asking me to do it. Finally, I gave in and taught on that. And I'll be doing it more. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. So we just want to be able to answer you guys' questions. We like teaching classes, so that kind of is the right fit for us. But yeah. So that is all of the updates that we have for this week. So the new Facebook page, if that confuses you, don't worry. Just continue doing what you're doing. You're going to see all of our content. And then we've got the boot camp or 50 shirts in 5 days class coming probably the beginning of next year, maybe that first week of next year. We're not exactly sure dates. We still got to figure that out, but that is when we're thinking something like that could happen, right? All right, cool. So the action step for this week that I want to give you guys, again, we love action. The thing that helps everybody in their business is actually taking action. And so the thing that I think you guys should do this week for your business is join us on Friday night for our Prepare for 2019 class. We're excited about that. We've got a lot of great ideas of how you can take what you've learned this year, or even if you've only been selling for a week or a month and you've had some success, how you can use that success to help you in all of next year. Things that you should be doing with that success, with those sales, things like that. So we're excited for that. If you could, it helps us out if you go to the event tab in this group and go up to that event. You can watch the little video that I made on Spark, which is awesome. And just let us know if you're coming. That helps us out, or not coming. That also helps us out just to know how many people are going to be in there, what we should kind of be prepared for. So that would help us out, and I think really help a lot of people to join us live. If you can't join us live, don't worry. It's going to be right here in this group, in the Facebook group, not on the page. It's going to be inside the group, so the recording will live here. But we would love to have you guys live to answer those questions. Anything that comes up that confuses you, we love answering those right on the spot. But we're excited for next year. That's definitely where our minds are at now, moving towards the last couple weeks of this year. We've got that awesome class coming up Friday, and actually on Wednesday, if we did confuse you, hopefully we'll be able to unconfuse you.
It's not getting any better.
Yeah. But hopefully we're able to clarify some things with what Pre-Flight 2.0 is. I know last time we did it, we just kind of threw it out there. It was like, hey, here's this thing, join if you guys, want to see us teach some more. But this time we want to go through and make sure that, if you are thinking about joining up, if you're just confused at what the whole thing is, we want to make a video just specifically talking about Pre-Flight 2.0, what that is, what it means, what you'll learn in that class, and how we'll be moving forward with that. So on Wednesday, that's what we'll be talking about. Probably 15 to 30 minutes, not super long, but enough information to make you guys feel like you can make either an educated purchase by joining us and getting in that course, or be like, oh, okay, that's not really what I need at this time. We will be teaching it a few times next year, but we just want to make sure that we have we really like that smaller group, like 30 to 40 people is kind of our sweet spot, where we can feel like we can help everybody. There's enough stuff going on for us to be able to bring ideas together and help everybody move forward. So we really like that. That's going to be, you'll get into a group and we'll explain all that stuff on Wednesday. But know if you've been thinking about Pre-Flight 2.0, thinking about getting into that next year, we will have a full video just on that coming up on Wednesday. And like I said, again, on Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we've got that video or a class, I guess we're calling this one, to help your business in 2019, some ways that you can do that. That was a lot of information.
Yeah, we liked last Merch Monday where we brought up some content and talked about it and kind of answered questions on that. We will try to do more Merch Mondays like this, or like last week. This one was kind of confusing. We apologize, but it's just a lot of things are going on, and we're trying now to do a better job at organizing everything. So this one we know is probably a mess, but we have a lot going on, and we're just trying to, it was either now or we keep pushing it off. And we just decided, okay, let's dive into this now and deal with the problems as it comes and the fallout. But at least now we'll start moving in that direction where it's 2 Facebook, 1 page, 1 group. The group is kind of where our hearts are at, and then move forward in that direction.
Yeah. Marshall, I'll answer that question more in detail on Wednesday. So definitely catch that video. But that's all we've got for you guys tonight. Thanks for joining us. This is a longer one. We're getting back to our just too much information and too long. So we apologize, but we're happy to be doing this at 6 p.m. Hopefully you guys are able to catch this, and we will catch you on Wednesday. All right, guys. See you then.